This is the second slideshow for module number 1, and here we're going to be talking about the various tools that you'll be using in Blackboard. So here are the basic tools that you should be aware of and know how to use by the time you're done with the getting started tasks. The discussion board is a place where we will all come together as a class online to answer a question. For these discussion boards, you're expected to write at least 3 sentences for the initial reply to the question, and then at least a sentence to 2 other students in the class or in your group. The blog tool is where you're going to submit your assignments for each of the modules and the research steps. The wiki tool, your group will decide on what is the best work for that particular module within your group, and you will post that work in the wiki tool. The Collaborate webinar, many of you are already familiar with it. If you're not, you need to be aware of how to turn your microphone on and how to raise your hand in Collaborate and how to respond back to me, the instructor, when we have these webinar sessions. Please take a look at the Grade Center. Here's where the weighted grade will be listed. These are all the this will be the grade that you have earned to that part to that time in the semester. So the weighted grade is important, and it's also important to check that I have put in the correct grade for each of the module work that you have done. So the discussion board, I wanted to talk about the muddiest points to begin with, and the muddiest points is found on the toolbar, and here's where you're going to ask questions to me about problems that you're having in the class. Once you open the muddiest points, you're going to click on thread as the arrow indicated, and then up here in the subject area you're going to ask your question, whatever that question is, and then in the message area down here you're going to actually explain what that question is in a little more detail. So you put the question up here and then in more detail down here, and then make sure to submit your request to me. I will see that request right away. Now the other thing that the discussion board is used for is, of course, the class discussions. So the first thing you want to do is to click on the particular discussion that you are dealing with within the module, read the prompt, and then you'll click here, which will open up the discussion. Here is where you're going to add your information. You add the content into the box in here, the message box. At least 3 sentences for the initial reply, and then reply to 2 other students in your group, a sentence or more to reply to what they wrote. And then of course you have to make sure that you're going to submit your work right there, and then I'll be able to see it and grade it. I am going to be looking at these discussions and commenting on them in my blog, Professor Woodson's blog, and not directly in the discussion board. The blog tool is relatively easy to use. You have started using it in the getting started work. What you need to do is, for each of the modules, you're going to start a new entry by clicking here, and then you're going to then copy and paste your work into the area right here. If you want to see the previous work that you've done, this will list all the previous blogs that you've done. And if you want to see other people in your group and what the work they've done, you click here. There'll be a drop-down menu, and you can then note what other work is being done and take a look at the work that's being done by others in your group. And again, if you want to come back and edit your work once you've submitted it, then you click on edit, and then you could you can continue to work on your blog. The wiki tool is a place where you're going to work together and show me what your group thinks is the best work for your group. It works very much like the blog, except instead of working individually, you'll be working as a group. And so the first person to open up a wiki for a particular module clicks on New, and then after that person posts whatever she's going to post to the blog, to the wiki, then anyone else afterwards clicks on Edit, opens the wiki again, and then adds their work. All of the people who contribute to the wiki will be listed down here, and I use the page contributors to give grades to the wiki. Everyone's name needs to be listed here under page contributor when you complete the wiki. The Collaborate webinar is a tool in which we are going to be talking to each other and going over each of the modules. You need to make sure that when you have loaded in the work that you click on Tools up here and make sure you go through the audio setup wizard to make sure your microphone's working. When you enter the room, you'll see who's logged in, who's there already. I will share files over here in this area. If you need to text message because your microphone may not be working, then you would add your text messages in there. Make sure to click enter once you have, or return, enter or return when you're done typing in your chat message. Make sure to turn on your microphone right up here. When you want to talk, you want to click on where it says talk up here in this area, and that will turn your microphone on and off.